Did you hear in the news this week that former Miss USA tragically killed herself? Former Miss USA, she was so accomplished, as you'll see. The ex-Miss North Carolina left behind a note saying she wanted to leave everything to her mother. Get this, her mother is a former pageant competitor herself. Her mother was crowned Miss North Carolina in 2002. So that is relevant. You might read that article yourself and not notice any relevance. But for me, for somebody who's been doing this sort of work for a long time now, immediately I saw the relevance in it. This woman who committed suicide, who was Miss North Carolina and went on to become Miss USA, her mother is a former pageant competitor herself who was crowned Miss North Carolina in 2002. Now, what can we draw from this? If you're Sherlock Holmes and you're just drawing obvious conclusions, it's just so obvious, conclusions from what we know happened to the details here, what obvious conclusions can you draw? Let me help you out. Think about the sort of focus on looks, on one's physical looks. Think about the intense focus and importance one must put there in order to compete at such a level, such as a state level and at a national level. Now think about how this is not just the daughter, it runs in the family. So the daughter has this intense focus and places intense importance on looks she has to, in order to compete at such a high level in beauty pageantry, right? Where'd she get it from? She got it from her mother, who also places intense importance and focus on physical looks. It just has to, in order to compete at such a level. I mean, think about all the dedication and time and focus and attention it takes to looking as absolutely beautiful as you can. Now, you can say that, well, it's all natural. Well, yeah, but there's a lot of naturally beautiful people out there. They're not winning beauty pageants. Winning a beauty pageant requires more than just your natural beauty. It also requires grace and other attentions to detail. Now I'd like you to ask yourself, now we know that the type of focus and attention that is required, and we can imagine the type of focus that was upon physical looks within her family, right? Can you imagine her as a little girl growing up with this woman who was very accomplished in the beauty pageantry world and beauty contests, had won Miss North Carolina in 2002. Can you imagine that environment? The attitudes and the thinking that the little girl is observing in her mother. What's most important to her mother? As a child, as she's watching this, she's observing her mother's perspectives and attitudes. And what is she seeing is maybe an overridingly most important aspect of her mother's focus and perspectives and attitudes. Physical beauty, perfection, right? So the daughter grows up and adopts these attitudes and perspectives as well. Now, let me ask you this. Are attitudes and perspectives that place such importance on physical beauty and physical detail, is that an attitude that is primarily focused on inner things or on external things? So let me ask the question again. In this scenario that we're imagining, this thought experiment, where we're just drawing obvious conclusions, right? Would you say it's more likely that her family's attitude of where the most importance lies in life is that a focus on what is inner or on what is external. Where her mind put value and how she perceived value and where it originates, where it comes from, how it exists, and those sorts of things.